And that's one serious source of depression, identity crisis. You see, people don't know who they are. But that is the thing. We are social creatures, and that alone is a sign that we have to do things collectively together. So in as much as selfishness is creeping into us because of social media, everybody wants to show his worth, show what he has got. Even if we are in a group collectively, somebody wants to stand out extremely, and then, I think that selfishness is one of the things that is making a lot of people depressed. You see people's New Year's resolution, new year, new me, new this, new that, no more friends, no, lone wolf. That thing will get you will die. You can't survive. Even wolves are in a pack, and lions are in a pride, and people are in tribes. That's why there is a family system. You separate yourself, and then you'll be bombarded in your brain about what you are worth and what you are not worth. So a lot of things that, contributes to depression, they are social. Another thing is the loss of a loved one. Maybe somebody that you confided in, or somebody that you had, great respect for, or even disappointment. It can, like somebody you look up to. Maybe you look up to this person, and you didn't imagine that the person could do something that was like a taboo, and the person did it, and then you got frustrated, and then some of those things, a whole lot of things. Comparing yourselves again. Maybe your friend has something you don't have. One of the things that got me depressed about my car, I remember I went to school one time. I drove to school, and then the car was having issues. So I was repairing it small. It's like the car, they were getting ready to scrap it, and my dad went to buy it. But anyways, so he was actually lied to by a friend. Friends, you will let me not talk about it. So long story short, I went to campus. I drove to campus, and my friend came. He came in a Corolla. I think 2014 Corolla, nice one. And then I sat in his car. I was going to get something, so I used his car. And then after driving in it for a while, the kind of comfort the seats gave me, that time I didn't have my AC, the kind of sense that was in the car, and how silent the car was because of the shocks. The shocks were very good, so they were absorbing, the shocks on the road and everything. I was there, and I was like, hey. So when I got back to campus, I gave him the car key. I got into the car. I was like, hey. And it went on for a while, like 2-3 days. I was in church with my shepherd, and then he noticed. He was like, He texted me actually. Preaching was going on. We didn't want to talk, so he was looking at me and he texted me. He said, "Are you depressed about the car?" I was like, no. I was like, yeah, Charlie. And you see, that's one of the ways to deal with depression. Coming clean about it. But I'll talk about that in another video. So, he was like, oh, don't worry, it will be okay. You get a car, you get this, you get that. Like, Charlie, yeah, it is what it is. You understand? But I see, we shouldn't treat it like it is what it is. Sometimes you just shake it off and walk. But then you have to approach it. So antidepressants can go I can't say a long way, but you get the point. It could help your mood. It will increase your serotonin levels. I think it will reduce your cortisol levels, and then you'll be okay. And physical reasons, sometimes the lack of exercise, lack of mobility, that thing can really, 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 really make you depressed. And somebody will wonder why. It's like you're in a room all day, you do nothing. How can you be? You can be depressed by just being at one place all the time doing nothing. All right. So in wrapping up, one of the things that takes people into a deep depression is meaning to life, or lack of meaning to life. So every time not every time, most of the time, there is a dream sold to people. You need to get this, you need to have this, you need to possess this, you need to have this, and it leads us into on a path. It's called hedonism. So there's this thing called a hedonic treadmill. That it's like you are chasing something, and you are closer to the thing, but you are far from the thing. All right, so it's like it's a pursuit of happiness that is never satisfied on a long-term basis, even like on a perpetual basis. So, for example, I was depressed about my car, and I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, Charlie, this car, because there was a lot wrong with the car. Right? The engine was shaking. So I was like, oh, this car, if we get new engine, it will be better. Then I got a new engine. I was so excited. Then it went away. It was like there was another problem to solve. I was like, okay, so the engine is shaking. Why is the engine shaking? There could be reasons. So the engine mounts were bad. I got new engine mounts. I was excited for a while. Then there was another problem. Not that the problems were yelling at me, but I was noticing, like, I wasn't. You don't get like complete happiness. You don't. So as I solved the problem of the engine mounts, the car was shaking again. Like when I was celebrating, the car starts shaking. Then I went into research. I realized that okay, it's a manual car. So if the pressure plate is having a problem, there's a crack in it, or if there's something wrong with it, and then the clutch disc, the car was making noise. Whenever I stepped on the clutch, the release bearing. So I had all those things changed. Now the car wasn't shaking again. I was so excited, and I realized that it's summer, it's hot. And I realized that I hadn't fixed my AC. So I went to do the AC, everything, and then I got a new AC fan, and it was all good. Everything was all right. Everything was nice, and I was like, the car doesn't look nice. So it's like constantly. Even that one cries problem solving, but hedonism is like being on a hedonic treadmill is like, okay, if I get this thing, I'll be excited about it. So I get this thing and I'm excited about it temporarily. Then the excitement goes away. It's like, oh, is that it? Like, what's the next thing? So it's like we are constantly on the search for conquest, especially as men. So now, even the body works that they do safe. When I get a car spray and I do everything and I have my comfort and I'm sitting inside, one day I wish to have a better car, because it's like a saloon car. So I'll be looking forward to having something in the region of an SUV or something. You see, hedonism. Constantly, we're in constant pursuit of something. So there was this musician, Avicii. I don't know if you guys know him. He has some very, very nice songs. You can look for Avicii. Alright, so Avicii rose in the heights of fame. Everybody knew his name. He was getting recognized. And he went on many, 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 many adventures. But he went on the final one. And basically he killed himself. But this is what happened. So he went to a hotel. Very fancy hotel. After all his chasing, the thing is that when you get glory, so let me just say the American dream, right? So when you get all the glory and fame, the girls, blah, 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 people are mentioning your name here and there. It's like we are promised a happily ever after. It's like the way girls are promised, it's subliminal, it's in your conscience from your childhood. When you start watching Cinderella and the rest, it's a subliminal programming. So now she's in some situation. Maybe she has an evil auntie that is disturbing her, or Maleficent has cursed her, and then she's in a situation, or Rapunzel, she's in a high tower, or Fiona and Shrek. There's a dragon guarding her, and she's in some tomb, and I wonder, the dragon hasn't killed her yet. It's like every time there's a woman in a damsel in distress, and then a knight in shining armor with a certain height and a certain appearance will swoop in, fight the dragons, kill whatever, climb up, go and save her, and then it's happily ever after. So in their minds, it's like, I'm in this distress situation, I'll just stay here, and somebody's son is obligated to come and get me out of it, and then we marry, and then it's happily ever after. And if even it goes as planned, once you are married, it doesn't end. It just doesn't continue automatically happily ever after. There is work. You have kids. You have to take care of the kids. Your husband will travel. You have to control the kids yelling. Do you understand? So it's just like this Avicii thing I'm talking about. Hedonism is like so what is left? And I think that was his question before. What is left? He ordered a bottle of champagne or wine or something. He drank it, he broke it, and then he slit his wrist, and then they found him dead. You would wonder that somebody, and you know, some of the cats who don't have money or anything, you'll be wondering, hey Charlie, now me if I had this money, you know the things I do, bro. Yeah, same thing. You will jump from club to club to club to club to club. You hop from girls to girls to girls to girls to girls. I know boys who have all these things and they are still depressed. It will shock you. So there is a meaning to life which people haven't found, which they've been told something else. And that thing is, after they receive it, they realize that no, it's still meaningless. So there's an original meaning to life. And if you ask people, they'll tell you in some of the highs of their life, what really made sense to them. It was just probably helping somebody out, or you know, engaging in a community service of a sort, which I'll get to when I'm talking about some of the ways to deal with depression. All right, so I think that this will just wrap up this video. I said a lot. I just hope what I said was sensible enough, since I didn't bring all my notes. But I mean, the subsequent videos, hopefully, I will just do a few clarifications here and there. So thank you so much for sticking around. Once again, another shout out to Zenko Plus Studios. I mean, you can check them out on social media. Zenko Plus TV on Instagram, on YouTube, and everywhere else. Alright, don't forget to subscribe, share, leave a comment. Some of the things you think I should say, some of the things, maybe some information that I've left out that I have to include. Alright, so subscribe, share it, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to join the community. Also, I think that after this series, I'll have people come to the studio with me to be like a podcast. Not like it will have a podcast setting, and then we'll just have that conversation. So I have that conversation with a friend or a group of people who have also experienced some level of depression. If they'll share their stories, if they want their faces to show, if they don't want their faces to show, too, fine. But I mean, they'll just come and tell their stories. It's like they're going to be vulnerable to those watching, so that I mean we can they'll share some things that we can all identify with, and I believe that their information will be helpful. All right, maybe, just maybe, I may get my psychology lecturer here. Maybe I'll just speak with him and try and see if I can get him here. All right, so once again, thank you so much for sticking around. It's your boy PS. I'm signing out. Bye bye.